Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul, and today we'll be reviewing Fire Force Chapter 241. The usual disclaimer at the beginning of the videos. I am not a kid-specific channel, although the topics I discuss might look like they're for kids. I will most likely start describing things that are too adult, saying words that are too adult, or just in general everything that's more mature than our average 5-year-old would watch and not be traumatized or have nightmares over to a point that the parents are going to have to start sending hate mail to the makers of the series because apparently they couldn't figure out that animation doesn't equal kid stuff. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let's begin with this video. Now, let's start with the bad news. Apparently, one of the most important fights in the series, Dragon vs. Arthur, is not going to happen this chapter. Yeah, I thought we all kind of knew that, but a lot of people were like screaming, Dragon vs. Arthur rematch, round 2, all over the pretty much every website that you go on to see the reviews. Now, I get that's the reason why some people may think because the whole and the last chapter kind of teasing us with Dragon and Arthur kind of he's here. But let's again think about it. This is if this was like CP9 from One Piece, Arthur and Dragon would be Kaku versus Zoro. So or you could also say Lucci versus Luffy because we have no idea what the heck is happening with the pillars. But I'm guessing that the pillars are gonna have like their own kind of fight. Like honestly, I can imagine just be like kind of side by side thing. Like right now we're focusing on what the side caps are doing, and then we're gonna cut back into a duel and see what the pillars are doing and the Avengers and that kind of thing. But besides that, yeah, Dragon versus Arthur is one of the most important fights that we don't get this chapter. I'm not surprised, but some people are probably gonna be disappointed at that. But yeah, let's get on to what actually happens in the chapter. Now, we begin this chapter with basically the characters reacting to the whole army of infernals. Makes sense. Like, if you like, even if you can defeat an army of zombies, you're still gonna react to surprise when you see an army of zombies. Again, it was also not the characters expected. So, we basically have Hinoa saying, hey, yo, get ready, we are shooting them all. And we basically see Hinoa just shooting the evolving shit off them with Arrow going along with it. Since I feel like Arrow's bow takes a little longer time than Hinoa's gun, or shotgun in this case. Now something to mention is that Ugon kind of sees the power of that shotgun that Hinoa has, which to me I guess it does make sense. I don't believe Ugon ever actually saw Hinoa in a fight. I think he probably knows of him by name, and I'm sure that like Arthur and Shinra and Tamaki talked to him about them. Like honestly, when they were trying to Chinese, they probably like were talking on the off-screen times. Like I'm sure we didn't see every piece of dialogue, but yeah, he basically reacts with a pop of the shotgun while Tamaki's praying. Kinda surprised they're still praying and doing all that stuff, considering the fact that they, more or less know that the white clad created the Chinese, created the religion, but yeah. Surprised, but again, it's nothing. If you know Omega Major, then we get something very important, and that's Arrow. Like, say what you want about me, but I fucking love Arrow every time we fucking see her. So in this chapter, she doesn't do much. Again, I think it's very obvious what the focus of this chapter was. So all she really does is show us a new move that she made, which is I can't exactly remember the name, but it has something with Arrow. I think it's Arrow Catalyst or something like that. And the ability is pretty much what I expected Arrow would get, and that's shoot one arrow up and then get a rain of arrow. The ninth forecast and entire barrage of flaming arrows is going to hit us on the head. Like again, I expected this to happen. I don't think anyone should really be that surprised. I feel like it's like one of the standard abilities that an archer would have. So yeah, we get to see that. It's awesome. It's Arrow. It's just the best thing. One of the best parts in the chapter. Also, there's some comments I heard about do Arrow's flame look a bit different, like black or something? Which to me, I'm just gonna say Arrow's color flame seems to like go through like redesigns. Like in the anime, it's no more colored. In the volume 21, it seems to be blue. So maybe Tobata decided to change that or to show off how much more powerful Arrow's flame is gonna be now. Is gonna be like change of color. I mean, there was only like mention of it, but it's pretty much nothing. If we'll be honest, it's a bit darker lighting thing or something. Like we all seen the anime. It's probably going to be nothing though. So Hinoa compliments Arrow on her ability. I mean, whoever can bring down an entire rain cast of flaming arrows to destroy is pretty much going to get praised. Also, some people were using this to like their like Arrow X Hinoa shipping bait, which I'm not sure where that comes from. I know people like really love the fight between Arrow and Hinoa. I feel like it was probably like some people's best fight in another, but I don't really get it. Like we all know that the end of the story, Arrow is gonna work as a secretary, maid, assistant, or some kind of desk cleaning the job at the 8th building. And the other says, I think we all know that's going to be her future. If not, probably just doing that stuff wherever she decides to live. If she survives, which let's hope she does. But yeah, it's very much nothing. So let's go back to the chapter. So now we have Tamaki and Maki reacting to like the Infernos, which something I forgot to mention in the previous was that the Infernos seem to be kind of like controlled, which pretty much respond. It's probably Ritsu. It seemed like after her attack, it's like yeah, it's definitely Ritsu the one. That's the reason why there's so many Infernos. Kind of wondering why people were surprised by that. I thought the shouldn't the Fire Force know what Ritsu's ability is right now? I mean, they had Hajima as well as the second network Arkane's investigation. Maybe they just forgot something. I mean, let's be fair. Ritsu is not exactly the most memorable or fan favorite character. So yeah, we have Maki and Tamaki basically saying, alright, well Maki's saying, alright Tamaki, you and I are gonna deal with the small infernos, so Lieutenant and Arrow can deal with the bigger one since honestly Arrow probably has like the biggest firepower outside of Arthur and Ugon. So it makes sense that they would be in charge of dealing with the giant infernos, which granted aren't really all that strong. I think they rank somewhere between a normal inferno and a demon, which there's a big gap there. In fact, there's even a big witch demon, since not all demons are as thick as one another. But yeah, it's a pretty good question. But yeah, they very much decide Arrow, fight the giant ones, we'll deal with small ones. And we even see Tamaki destroying the small ones. Another thing we have is her commenting, how many lives are you toying with? So, who knows? Maki versus Ritsu, possibly? I mean, I was honestly expecting Tamaki versus Ritsu, but honestly I was expecting Maki versus Ritsu since, again, kind of the similar stacks. Although we could also have Arrow and Hinoa versus Ritsu, but I honestly think Arrow's gonna fight Fieri, even though they haven't arrived, the Calican Specialist Force. But yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna be either Tamaki versus Ritsu or Maki versus Ritsu. And now let's go to the real bone of this chapter. And then we see Arrow helping Hinoa destroy the Infernos, and she sends another one. I'm guessing it's either supposed to be like just a one-shot kill of her attacks, or maybe the giant barrage of arrows one. It doesn't really matter since Charan goes there, blocks it, and goes to kill Arrow. It does make sense. Charan's ability is the type of ability that will do that, and that's kind of the whole thing with it. And I'm pretty sure Arrow's attacks are not like multi-city range or whatever range Charan's was able limit is right now. No, so yeah, Charan goes and strikes her and calls her traitor, which I was expecting it to be like a more of a conversation, I believe I even said in the last chapter between Charan and Arrow, but no, it's nothing like that. So Charan wants to kill Arrow, which, oh no, but honestly, I don't think that's what we are really supposed to be getting here. I feel like there'll be a lot of moments in this current part of the story where we're gonna basically have be like reminded Arrow's powerful, but she's very easily countered. Now, I'm pretty sure there are like four characters, five characters in the battlefield right now who can counter her. But yeah, Charon goes to kill her, but Ugon, thank you Ugon, that thing went up in my favorite character list, saves her by duking Charon in the face and sending him away. Bravo Ugon, bravo, you saved us from losing Arrow's boobs. Yeah, I know that. Now, yeah, we said then Charon goes to attack him again, and Ugon again strikes him. Charon tries to counter, but Ugon it was informed about Charon's ability. I'm not sure if it was off screen by the 8th, or if that was just like when they were giving their reports. Every Fire Force company was to give their reports like. Alright, there's this one member of the White Clad named Charon. He's a very more important member and a lot more powerful, whose second generation ability allows him to take blows from you and then dish them out. But yeah, Charon tries to run, but Ugon is aware and quickly barrages them. And he pretty handily is having his battle with Charon is pretty much right now is pretty much in Ugon's favor. No, the thing is, I think that was more of a surprise, not really focusing by Charon. And honestly, again, Charon stated is in the fifth pillar arc that sure you can get a drop on him, but that's not gonna work again. Or yeah, you know my ability, but so what? So yeah, Charon gets sent back, and then Ugon even like Jesus Christ, he didn't even like get hurt much. Well, not Jesus Christ, but like oh shit, he didn't even like hurt that much. And Charon in his comments like how many punches was that? Which again confirms like Charon, yes, you can get a hit on him and you can even counter his counters, but you're not dropping him down that easy. I feel like the Hajima arc and the fifth pillar arc kind of proved that fact. Honestly, I feel like Charon's either the second or the third strongest. Either way, I would say it makes sense. So yeah, now we get to the like Guardian's Path part of this chapter, where Ugon kind of like brings up the thing a lot of people are gonna be questioning themselves, like why does the White Clad exist? Like why do these people in the White Clad like wanna do this? Like why do they? Which granted, we don't get an answer for every member of the White Clad, but we do get an answer for quite a few, as well as the reason why Charon wants to do it. Since again, let's remind you, the plan of the White Clad is to destroy the Earth, to kill everyone. That's like what no people would like agree. Like I'm pretty sure. I mean, there are a lot of crazy things that in current world that people will follow without any logic or reasoning, but it's usually things that are like you agree with the message, but you do not agree with what they're gonna be doing. So yeah, so why would someone agree with the whole destroy the Earth thing? Like why? And Charon gives us his answer. His answer is basically the fact that Haumea and her psychic abilities or mind abilities have a function where she basically was seeing the collective unconscious as the evil of humanity in a way from her childhood, since I guess it was like Shu who got her ability very young, like baby stuff or something. Like from birth basically. Which implies to me that this means that the White Clad, some of them or a good chunk of them are like generational. Like some of them joined sometime during the after the first cataclysm failed, and then they had kids. Then those kids had kids, and on the line. So they are born for. So Charon and Haumea are most likely like it will most likely born or descendants from the people who were working for the White Clan for centuries. I'm sure that not every White Clan member is that. Like, I believe Raqqa was there to just be an orphan found and taken care of. Sumeria's church, I believe, just took random orphans. We don't know about any other more important White Clan member where they came from, but we know enough that at least some of them could come from the outside, while the other ones could have been like generational. So this is like the reason why some of the modern White Clans are there. It's because they're just generations. Not sure how white their grandfathers or great great grandfathers or who knows what. Why would they apart? Who knows? Maybe that implication is gonna be when we get revealed why normal people join. So yeah, oh, the ones who want orphans join. Apart from the funny joke comics we get, like Arrow having a basket of cookies or something. But yeah, we get that expansion, and let us all let's all think about this. How Maya, or psychically from childhood, probably from like babies. In fact, Charan said that how Maya, before she was like even able to tell which is right, which is left, basically he was feeling the the evil of humanity, the self-destruction, like the people who self-harm themselves, which that's not good. Go get help, like immediately. If you put self-harm, go get help, like immediately. And all those type of people, then you get like those destructive, like those anarchists and those types of people. She was basically getting their thoughts since childhood, which, gotta be honest, that's pretty traumatic. Like, even adults don't usually get that. Like, that will snap your brain, which explains Homer's behavior, ironically enough. So, that's pretty traumatic. And what Charan wants to do is to make the crackers so she will die, so she'll no longer have to suffer. Some obvious problems are like, why don't you just kill her now? But I think the reason why he didn't kill her now is more the fact it's kind of a problem with the Guardian system, if you may. A Guardian is supposed to protect their pillar, no matter what. Like, if it comes down to shooting a bullet between a pillar and a Guardian, the Guardian should volunteer. In fact, they should probably take the gun and do it themselves, just so. Well, I guess if there's only one bullet in the gun, so there will no longer be any time, so the gun will no longer would be empty. But yeah, that's the idea. So Charan could not have killed Haumea because that's his job to protect her. He also could like request someone to kill her because again he has to protect her. So the only way to kill her by Charan's way is to start a cataclysm. That's the idea. To free her from the suffering. No, Grant, I'm not sure. That's Charan's reasoning. And honestly, I feel like in our problem with the Guardian system to have. But yeah, that's the reason why. And Ugon respects that. Like, he understands. Like, alright, you care for her. You don't want her to suffer, but she will continue to suffer those thoughts. So so I can respect that, but I will not let you do it. Like, I'm not gonna let you create a cataclysm. Like, it sucks. Her life sucks, and she needs to get help. But but we're not destroying the entire humanity for one girl. Sorry. And John again doesn't really gonna expect it. He's not just gonna like drop his hands and be like, you know what, you're right. We should help. Hey, everyone the eighth. We're letting the cataclysm happen because Haumea is suffering. Like, everyone gets it. Everyone understands. Ugon understands, but he will not let him. John kind of scoffs it, calls it his ego. Like, you're just making your ego higher and higher. Like, oh, you're the fire soldier protecting lives. Hey, I helped today. But Ugon is not like that guy who wants ego. He just has a strong sense of duty to like protect the citizens of Tokyo, and that's what he's gonna do. So even though they respect each other, well, at least Ugon respects Charan, and maybe Charan respects Ugon. It's unclear that part, but even though they respect each other, he was still gonna fight and try to prevent that. And we end the chapter with Ugon throwing his Fire Force jacket up, which thank God, because those things look very unpractical for a fist fight. It would be for a fight in general. Puts his hands up, and Charan puts his cloak down, and we are ready. And getting ready, gets ready to have a one-on-one bloody fight. Let's go! Our chapter, the next chapter's title, Woven Lineage. Now, before we give my thoughts on the chapter, let's get my thoughts on the chapter before then what I think is gonna happen next. The chapter, pretty good. The fighting was solid. The art, how it was drawn was amazing. And I cannot wait to see more. Like, this is a very good, like, get ready for the fights chapter. I definitely cannot wait to see how it's gonna go. Definitely a pretty surprising fight to get to this point, but a very welcome surprising fight. And yeah, there's not much to say about anything else. I like the fact that we got the explanation to why some people will join. I like the hint. I like Charan. It makes Charan even better of a character. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the chapter. Honestly, nothing else to really talk about. So let's talk about the possibility of the next chapter. Family. Well, wait, no, it was Woven Lineage. Now, here's the thing. I kind of feel like the next couple of shows should be like kind of like setups for fights, like Charan versus Ugon, Ritsu versus Maki, Giovanni versus Vulcan, and that's how it is. But considering the fact that the chapter is called Woven Lineage, I kind of feel like we're gonna focus on Charan versus Ugon as well, but more like go by the more detailed in the description. Like, in this one got a hint to like the White Clads being like from generations born. Like John's fathers were White Clad members and he was born, parents were White Clad and now he's White Clad. So I could imagine that I was getting like that kind of a backstory with Charan. The next chapter, in honestly it's the most logical thing. But I could also imagine us having like a setup for Giovanni versus Vulcan, Lisa, and you, since, well, there is some, well, I'm saying there's some bad blood between the parties is logical. So I could imagine that also us getting like that, and us also getting like a backstory on Giovanni a bit, or at least Giovanni's history with with Vulcan's parents, well, Vulcan's father and grandfather. So I could imagine that. I would say there could be a setup for Ritsu versus Tamaki or Maki, but I don't really think the title of the chapter would really like lead to Ritsu. Like, I don't think anyone really gets Woven Lineage for a setup chapter for Ritsu versus Maki and Tamaki, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you like this review. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I can't wait to see all people next time. Bye.